Hiya, so how are you? My name is Riley, and this is going to be a channel where I guess I will play video games and have random little commentary. I don't really know what the commentary is going to necessarily be on, because I have a lot of thoughts, and I have a lot of stuff that I want to say, and that I want to be listened to for. I suppose the most thing that I would want to listen to for is stuff that has to do with my childhood and my teenage years. In simpler terms, I guess that you could just say stuff that has to do with being a child of the internet. Um, for better or for worse.
The enemy has captured Bravo.
Since as somebody born in the year 2000, I spent most of my childhood on the
Your
internet.
team scored.
I would have first started to use the internet in 2008, 2007. And
The
albeit
enemy
at that
has
point, it
captured
would have
Charlie.
been almost
Enemy team scored.
exclusively playing Club Penguin, and then what, around like 2010, maybe 2011, 2012, it would have consisted primarily of Flash games, but then at some point in 2009 or 2010, I started to use YouTube for like
Our
Call of
camp
Duty
ready.
gameplays, or
We've
also
captured
for
Alpha.
Your
create a
team
class things
scored.
for Call of Duty to like help make a better class. Like Xbox Ahoy, I think, was a channel that did stuff like that, and then I know that like at some point T Martin started to do that, and I think Ali A even had stuff for that. And then while I was at school in like fourth and fifth grade, at the end of the day, we would have been able to go on computers and, well, we played Flash games because we were just a bunch of like, what, 10-year-old kids
Enemy team
who had
scored.
access to the internet. What else are you gonna do besides play stuff like Shopping Cart Hero or, I don't know, Slenderman shit?
Lost the lead.
Oh, I guess that's something else that this would be a good medium for, is to talk
Camo
about the
inbound.
creepypasta epidemic of the internet. Especially like because around 2014-ish, 2013, 2014, I would have been really into the horror side of YouTube, so stuff that had to do with urban legends, creepypastas, and all of that good stuff. I think that like Tat's Top Videos was a channel that I would have been watching excessively for all of the
Stronghold Bravo
creepypasta stuff and
lost.
whatnot. And also, unfortunately, I was a kid who wrote my own
Stronghold Alpha is
creepypastas.
ours.
Luckily, none of those have survived to this day, so there is no ability to see any of the cringe that I would have created. Then again, I'm sure that like
The
it
enemy
would have
has
created good
captured Alpha.
content because I know that one of them had something to do with PewDiePie. I'm not really sure what it had to do with PewDiePie.
Enemy halfway
If I'm
up.
correct, it was like a
Power
mix of
weapon
PewDiePie and
ready.
Slender.
We've
I'm
captured
almost certain
Bravo.
that's what it
Your
was.
team scored.
And then, like, there's this really funny thing that happened where I think it was like
Now we're
2011 or something. I convinced my entire school, not my entire school, but a good portion of them, that I saw the Bioshock dude, Big Daddy, that I saw him across the street from the school. And it's
Stronghold
amazing
Alpha
because,
lost.
Enemy team
in
scored.
like what, fourth, fifth grade, when you go and say some crazy thing like that, if somebody else agrees with you that they saw it, all of a sudden somebody else is going to agree with them. And then you're going to have all of these people agreeing that they saw Big Daddy across from your
They'll
school.
be
And
feeling
then,
that
like, by the time that you have
napalm.
like 4 or 5 people believing that they all saw this, everybody else is going to start to believe that they saw it. And then they're going to start being like, oh my God, no, you're right. Like, I saw this way
Camo
before. And
inbound.
they're going to try to like one up you by being like, no, I saw it first.
The enemy
When
has
in
captured
reality, I
Alpha.
just went and said it. It never actually existed, but I love that
Anti-ammo
all of you
available.
hopped on and all of you just supported my point. Like, thank you so much. And then to go a little further away from that, as fun as all of that is, I guess like talking about just Facebook, Instagram, for the time when like Facebook had games on it. Like I don't know if anybody remembers Backyard Monsters, I think it was, or what was the like life simulator game on Facebook? Like wasn't it like Toon no, it was like a different thing, but it was similar to Toontown or something like that. I don't really remember, but Facebook games was fun. The impact of Facebook on my childhood definitely was incredibly unhealthy, and I think that just like the life of a not rural town, but like a small town kid who had Facebook as their main form of connecting with other people in their town is something that was such a unique experience, but also such an unhealthy experience because like we all were trying to put this face on that our lives were so amazing. Meanwhile, every single one of us was living in like pretty
Enemy
much
team
poverty
score.
and downtrodden conditions, and we were all incredibly mentally ill, but we did not realize how mentally ill we were. And I don't know, I guess I have a little bit of a unique internet experience, not necessarily unique per se, but less
Your
talked
team
about, I think, which
scored.
is like the using the internet for stuff like Interpals, where you could make friends with people from anywhere around the world. And like Jacksepticeye, I think, was the one who I
Double
learned about
kill.
Interpals from
Enemy
because
team
wasn't it
score.
his girlfriend at the time that he would
Earning
have
our king today,
met
Spartan.
through
Enemy team
Interpals?
nearing
And I was like,
victory.
oh my god,
Power item
I could go and just
unlocked.
talk to people all around the world. That
Double
sounds
kill.
so fun. So then I got Interpals and I started making friends from around the world, and it was really interesting. And this is all
Defeat.
before like 2015. And I would say that like the period of like 2010 to 2015 on YouTube and just like the internet in general, it was such a unregulated wasteland. Like, there should have been regulations, but there really were not. And none of the adults around at the time, like, knew just what the internet was to us. So we were all just living in, like, this mystery world that nobody else really knew about. And it's
The
good that
enemy
they
has
didn't, but also
taken
they
charge.
definitely should
Enemy
have
team
because
scoring.
it should not, we should not have been allowed to do the stuff we did. But yeah, I guess in summation, that is essentially what this channel is going to be. Me going and rambling about whatever topic or series of topics for however long I can
Alrighty.
go on for.
We've
And
captured
then, I
Alpha.
don't know, because
Your
I'm not
team
really good at
scored.
having stuff to put for stuff, I guess I'll just have whatever video game I'm playing at the time as background to my random commentary. So yeah, cool. Thank you. Bye bye.